Hello guys, this is the 2022 Acura MDX Type S. This is the fastest MDX you could buy and the sportiest MDX you could buy. This one is finished in platinum white, and that's the only option it has. This one does not have any accessories or any options. And this one is the Type S Advance. There's two trims to choose from on the Type S. There is the normal base Type S, and then there is the Advance, and this one is the Advance. And the starting price on the base is $66,000. This Advance is $72,000. This platinum color is $500, and with destination, this Type S as tested is $72,000. But let's go ahead and take it on a POV test drive and see how it does. Alright, so here is the interior of this 2022 Acura MDX Type S. So again guys, this is the fastest MDX you could buy and the sportiest and the best handling. But yeah, I think it does look very good from the inside. It looks very, very nice from the outside. I really like the dual LED headlights, and yeah, overall I think the front end looks very, very aggressive. The side view looks really nice, and yeah, overall this SUV looks very good from the outside. And from the inside there is a digital screen. Let's go ahead and take it on a test drive, see how it does. Here is the backup camera. It does have 360, and the 360 is a little bit on the smaller side. I really wish that the screen was a little bit bigger to be able to see that 360 view. There is a narrow view and a wide view, and here is the rear cross traffic. And overall the camera system is nice and clear. Alright, so driving this 2022 Acura MDX Type S. This thing sounds amazing and very nice and responsive, and it does have that aggressive sound to it. And yeah, overall this thing drives very, very smooth, very comfortable. By the way, it does have the air suspension, so it does go up and down when you change the drive modes. And overall it's very nice and quiet, very, very comfortable, and yeah, I really, really like that. We're gonna go ahead and hop on the highway. This 10-speed automatic transmission is nice and responsive. Let's go ahead and put the transmission in sport mode, and we're gonna go ahead and put the SUV in Sport Plus mode. Rotate and hold to put it in Sport Plus mode. There's an individual mode, and when you put the SUV in Sport Plus or Sport mode or any mode, it does actually go up and down. So basically the suspension adjusts. I love the way how the gauges look like. The price on this one is $73,000, but you do get a good amount of features. I really love this red interior. I think it does look very, very good, and the gloss black with the red stitching, the red interior, everything just goes together very, very good. Let's hop on the highway and we'll see how this Type S will do. This thing handles pretty good for an SUV. Does feel a little bit heavy, but this thing feels very, very planted. Suspension setup is very good. I did feel a little bit of body lean, but the super handling all-wheel drive system is very good. Paddle shifters feel nice and solid. Transmission is nice and quick. As I mentioned, this 10-speed automatic transmission is good. I did have it on my 2018 Honda Accord, and I really like this 10-speed automatic transmission, and I still love this 10-speed automatic transmission. Let's go ahead and talk about the engine. So as I mentioned, it does have a 3.0 turbocharged 6-cylinder engine connected to a 10-speed automatic transmission. This engine produces 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque, and nice and responsive. As I mentioned, the SUV feels a little bit heavy, and that's expected. So definitely responsive, but nothing crazy. There is a 12.3-inch screen. For a sporty SUV like this, it drives very, very good. Very solid on the highway, and visibility is very, very good. It does have blind spot monitoring system, by the way, and of course it does have Acura Watch, so lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring system, rear cross traffic, emergency braking, and steering assist, of course. Brakes feel nice and solid. And talking about brakes, this Type S has Brembo brakes, and it has a ton of features. It has the ELS 3D sound system, 25 speakers in this Type S, so impressive. I love the flat bottom design steering wheel. Let's go ahead and put this SUV back in sport. When you put it in sport, there is pumped in sound from the speakers, so basically some fake noises from the speaker or speakers. Brakes are very, very good. This Type S has ventilated seats, heated seats. It does have heated steering wheel, and I think it has massaging seats. Yes, it does have massaging seats. Interior looks very, very good. I'm a big fan of the way how it looks. Not a big fan of this pad right here, but honestly, it's very easy to get used to. Let's go back home. And it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so that's good. Let's see if I could go back home now. Yeah, so that's where it gets a little bit hard. But it's nice and responsive, and I think once you get used to it, I think it's very easy to use. We're gonna hop on the highway again, and I'm gonna test the handling, and I'm gonna test the safety features when I hop on the highway. But yeah, a 12.3-inch screen, very high resolution. Steering wheel becomes nice and heavy. Brakes are very, very good. This thing is very responsive. And something that I really like about this 3.0 turbocharged V6, it's very responsive, not sluggish. The turbo kicks in very, very quick, and this engine just keeps pulling, or this SUV just keeps pulling, and there's basically power everywhere. High speeds, low speeds, blind spot monitoring system. It does blink and it does make a sound. So a beautiful, comfortable, sporty SUV. As I mentioned, it has 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque, and honestly those numbers don't really sound that much, but this SUV definitely moves. Let's go ahead and drop it back in comfort mode. Gauges do change. Every mode has its own unique look, which I like, and of course this MDX has the Acura watch. So let's go ahead and turn on the steering assist. Let's turn on the cruise control. So the SUV is driving by itself. It's going to keep some distance between me and the car in front of me. It will come to a complete stop, and it will accelerate and basically keep me between the lanes, or in my lane. Seating position is perfect. Seeing out of the back is good. The windows are very, very big, and everything is actually nice and soft. Every single thing on this door is nice and soft. It does say steering required, so basically you have to touch the steering wheel once in a while so the car or the SUV knows that you're actually paying attention. I really love the heads-up display. It is nice and big, and I'm not sure if you guys could actually see it on the camera, but in person, this heads-up display is seriously amazing. You could control the climate controls from the front. As I mentioned, there is massaging seats, cold seats, heated steering wheel, and in the bottom there is a good amount of buttons. There is the brightness control, parking sensor, traction control, the Acura watch controls, heads-up display. You could raise up the heads-up display, and you could bring up the brightness up and down. So let me see if I could actually bring so I'm adjusting the heads-up display. I really hope you guys could see actually the heads-up display. I did lower it down so you guys could see it. Very comfortable SUV. So I really like what Acura did with this Type S. I love the red stitching on the dash and on the steering wheel. This 10-speed automatic transmission is quick, but I think I prefer the 8-speed dual clutch transmission from the ILX more than this 10-speed. Overall, such a beautiful SUV. This one is the advanced, so it does have the quilted seats. Let's go ahead and put this SUV back in sport mode. We're gonna go ahead and put the transmission in sport, and the SUV is lowering at the moment. So as I mentioned, when you put the SUV in sport mode, brakes are very, very good. The brake pedal has a really nice bite to it, so it doesn't sink in and it's not stiff. It's just the perfect feeling. And in person, I could definitely hear the turbos. The turbo. I doubt you guys could actually hear the turbo over the camera. The transmission does not go all the way down to the first gear. I'm not sure if it does actually. It does display one, but I don't think it actually goes to the first gear. With this 10-speed automatic transmission, it's a little bit hard to actually downshift the SUV to the first gear, but you could actually, or not downshift, you could actually start the SUV. Let's say if this SUV is at dead stop, usually it starts at the second gear, but you could actually drop it to the first gear, but you have to catch the transmission at the right speed. Can't do it every single time, but you could definitely do it. I've done it multiple times with my Honda Accord 2.0 with the 10-speed automatic transmission, and it does pull very, very hard when you drop it to the first gear. The steering wheel has a really nice light weight to it. When you put it in comfort mode or normal mode, it's very, very light. When you put it in sport and sport plus, it becomes nice and heavy, and the steering is very direct. This MDX has a panoramic sunroof. Good size panoramic sunroof. There is a switch for the shade, and there is a switch for the panoramic sunroof. It does have a frameless mirror. The mirrors are nice and big, and seating position is perfect. I really wish the seats were a little bit more comfortable, but still I think they're good. I really love the red interior. I think it does look very good, especially with the white exterior. So as you guys see, it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and climate controls are easy to use. Not a big fan of the switches like that. I really like dials and knobs, but very easy to use. And let's go ahead and turn on the massaging seats. This 3.0 sounds really good. I really wish that the exhaust had a deeper, I really wish this Type S MDX had a deeper sound from the exhaust. But overall, very good SUV. The massaging seats are amazing. There's 2 stages of massaging seat, 3 stages of massaging seats, 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of cold seats, and here is the heated steering wheel button. Here is the e-brake. That's where it's located. You actually have to push it in to engage it. So I want to go ahead and do a quick acceleration right here. By the way, here is the panoramic sunroof. Let's go ahead and close it. Let's brake boost it. Oh yeah. Nice and responsive when brake boosting. Of course, it builds that boost and then accelerates hard. So nice and responsive from at that stop with brake boosting, and it definitely pushes you back to the seats. So down here there is the engine shut off, brake hold. I really like what Acura did here. Push on this, comes out, one USB-C, one USB, and here is the transmission. As I mentioned, climate controls are very easy to use. Here is the pad that will control the screen, so you could go back. You could basically put your finger in the corner, and then it will highlight FM radio or Apple CarPlay. So this 10-speed automatic transmission is definitely good, and it is quick, but sometimes it gets confused. But most of the time it's not bad. I'm not exactly sure how big this cluster display, this gauge or cluster display is. I think it's around the same size as this, or maybe 10.25 inch. I tried to look it up and I couldn't find any numbers online, but yeah, it does look like a 10.25 inch screen. So I'm gonna go ahead and accelerate without brake boosting this time and see how this SUV will do. I really wish that the suspension setup was a little bit comfortable in comfort mode. In Sport and Sport Plus mode, it does stiffen up. By the way, I did actually have the SUV in normal mode. It was not in sport mode this time, and even in normal mode, this thing accelerates very good. The transmission was in normal mode, so nothing was in sport mode, and it does accelerate very good. So this 3.0 turbocharged V6 is nice and responsive, and even without brake boosting and even without putting the SUV in sport mode, it is nice and responsive. So I want to go ahead and do an acceleration right here. Let's go ahead and turn off the traction control. The SUV is lowering down. I'm gonna do an acceleration from a dead stop, and I'm gonna be turning right. So I just want to see how this super handling all-wheel drive system will do, and yeah, let's go ahead and test it. I know you could turn off the traction control completely off. It is partially off now. this thing pulls very, very hard, and I could definitely feel like the nose goes up, and the thing the SUV squats down. So very good amount of power from this 3.0 turbocharged V6. So does this SUV feel like a $73,000 SUV? I honestly don't think so. It's definitely a good SUV, very comfortable, has a ton of features, but $73,000, I think it's a little bit too much for this Acura MDX Type S. And I know this is the advanced package. I know you could get the base Type S, but still, I think $73,000 is kind of expensive. But overall, very good SUV, good amount of power, a lot of torque, and that 10-speed automatic transmission is good. Sometimes it's not the best, but still, I think it's good. And yeah, overall, very impressed with it, but not worth $73,000. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this POV test drive of this 2022 Acura MDX Type S. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come and see Jonathan here at Acura By Executive in North Haven, Connecticut. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you next time.